I'm Mark Williams for Pickuptrucks.com, and we're here just north of Santa Barbara, where GMC has given us the first opportunity to drive the 2014 GMC Sierra. But not only that, they've given us a 23-foot Airstream that is going to be our accommodations for the next couple of days. But before we talk about how well this truck handles the weight, let's talk about some of the things that are new with this truck. Let's start by talking about the elephant in the room. Structurally and foundationally, the 2014 Chevy Silverado and 2014 GMC Sierra are mechanically identical. But General Motors continues to tell us they're going to try to create more separation between the two brands by making the exterior and interior look very, very different. And we're just beginning to see that now. What we have here is an SLT long bed 5.3 liter GMC Sierra. Stylistically, we can see that the GMC grille is now wider and taller to get more air inside to keep that powertrain cool. Projector headlights are now sandwiched by upper and lower LED light strips, and the tolerances in between the bumper and the fascia much tighter than they were before. In addition, the lower valance is lower than it's ever been before, which gives us a little bit of ground clearance penalty and maybe weakens our approach angle, but the benefit obviously is going to be in fuel economy. To their credit, GMC made this first drive of their 2014 GMC Sierra 1500 all about towing. In fact, they even took all the media that came to this event and put them through school. They gave them classes on what to know and understand about trailers and how different driving a pickup truck is with a trailer than it is without. And they let us go out on a course. They trained us. They basically gave us several different skills to practice emergency lane changes, practice our backing up into very, very tight parking spots. Among some of the detailed technology they wanted to call our attention to includes a backup camera, a brand new integrated brake controller that they put high and on the left of the gauge cluster to the left of the steering wheel. Some people are going to complain about that. Most people are comfortable with that brake controller being low and to the right. But from our point of view, having it up there within our line of sight and easy access to our left hand makes perfect sense. Also, in the transmission, there's the tap up, tap down on the column shifter. You can put it into manual setting. And there's a grade brake controlling function that works differently if you just leave it in drive or if you actually engage the tow haul setting. Finally, a hill hold assist is incorporated into this truck as well too. The transmission actually has this. This is a smart computer function that will hold that pickup truck and the trailer for up to several seconds while you're on that hill trying to get your foot off of the brake and get it onto the accelerator to continue up the hill. And it works both in drive and in reverse, but you have to be backing up the hill. The threshold itself is 5%. Anything below that it senses, it will not engage that hill hold ascent. Anything above 5%, it will. So we've got about a 4,000 or 5,000 pound trailer on the back end, so tongue weight is set up very, very well. It's an Airstream, so it's pretty low to the ground. But the first thing I get my sense is I love how the telescoping and the adjustable steering wheel adjusts. That's a good thing. But more importantly, the new electric steering seems to give it a more controlled feel, more balance. I notice it snaps back to center than it used to, and it doesn't do any of that hunting or that power surging that the previous generation used to do. The power is one of the things that I like the best. Clicking on the tow haul mode instantly gives you that more aggressive shifting pattern. All of this actually makes it a very controlled feel, even with a pretty good sized trailer on the back end. It also becomes very obvious. We're in a crew cab right now, so more leg room and seat room in the back, but seats in the front still very comfortable. But the biggest detail that is very noticeable is how quiet it is. We've got the AC on pretty high, we've got the engine working pretty well, it's in a downshift mode, pretty aggressive because of the trailer we have behind it, and this is incredibly quiet. This is not something that we've recognized with other GM vehicles in the past. I love getting in situations where you have to put the hammer down. You just have to push the throttle to the floor. You have at least a couple of gears that kick down, and that's just a beautiful noise. It's almost a rumble that you feel through the seat instead of hearing through your ears, so the intrusion isn't coming through the windows or the glass or through the cabin itself, but you actually feel the rumble in the seat. That's very cool. Also, the suspension, much quieter in the past. This is an SLT, pretty much a middle-of-the-road GMC Sierra that they're going to offer with the V8s. Four-wheel drive, does not have the maximum tow package, but still offers a very comfortable and confident ride with about 500 or 600 pounds of tongue weight. But even when empty, and we've had a pretty good opportunity to drive it empty around LA and up towards Santa Barbara, very, very smooth, very comfortable, wipes out a lot of the road irregularities in ways that the previous generation suspension could never even handle. So there it is. That's our first impression of the new 2014 GMC Sierra. No, it's not the perfect truck, but it does a lot of things well. In fact, in a lot of ways, it sets the new standard that Ford, Ram, Toyota, and Nissan are going to have to go after. But if you want all the details on this new truck, specs, and pricing, go to Pickuptrucks.com. I'm Mark Williams for Pickuptrucks.com, and we're here just north of Santa Barbara, where GMC has given us the first opportunity to drive the 2014 GMC Sierra. But not only that, they've given us a 23-foot Airstream that is going to be our accommodations for the next couple of days. But before we talk about how well this truck handles the weight, let's talk about some of the things that are new with this truck. Let's start by talking about the elephant in the room. Structurally and foundationally, the 2014 Chevy Silverado and 2014 GMC Sierra are mechanically identical. But General Motors continues to tell us they're going to try to create more separation between the two brands by making the exterior and interior look very, very different. And we're just beginning to see that now. What we have here is an SLT long bed 5.3 liter GMC Sierra. Stylistically, we can see that the